From News Channel 8, your news at 5 starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Wreaths Across America is set to host its annual Wreath Laying ceremony at the Fort Gibson National Cemetery. But this year, an online post from another nonprofit has caused some confusion. Here's News Channel 8's CJ Macklin with the questions being raised and the mission to make sure that those who served are honored.
From selling only 8 wreaths back in 2007 to now in 2023, where they're selling thousands. Wreaths Across America have been a staple here in Oklahoma. Now there has been some information that has kept the location's coordinator phone ringing off the hook.
This year so far, we are going to place a little over 2,700 wreaths. That is well short of the 27,000 that are buried at Fort Gibson National Cemetery.
This year will be Wreaths Across America's second highest wreath placement year since they have started. Tiffany Town says placing these wreaths in Fort Gibson Cemetery is an honor.
We place live wreaths every year. They are the same wreaths that are placed at Arlington and across the nation at over 3,700 different locations.
But this year, confusion has sparked an uproar in Oklahoma after a social media post from another nonprofit that has been partnered with Wreaths Across America for multiple years. The location coordinator would like to set the record straight.
There's been a little bit of confusion here this week. Another nonprofit that we had partnered with for several years places artificial wreaths. There was, an incident this summer where their wreaths were destroyed by mold. They recently announced that they will not be placing wreaths this year, and it's caused a little bit of confusion in the public with people thinking that our ceremony has been canceled and that we are not placing wreaths. We just want to reassure everyone that we are still placing the live wreaths that were sponsored.
Tiffany says they will definitely be here on December 16th at 11 a.m. Wreaths Across America did partner with that nonprofit, but they do not know whether or not that nonprofit will be in business moving forward. At Fort Gibson National Cemetery, I'm CJ Macklin, News Channel 8.
A local rabbi is offering a shining light during a dark time with the celebration of the Jewish holiday Hanukkah. The 8-day Festival of Light celebration started yesterday evening at the Tulsa County Courthouse, with more than 100 people there to show their support. It has been a difficult time for the Jewish community with the violence in the Middle East and a rise in anti-Semitic attacks here in America. Rabbi Yehuda Weg calls the people who showed up to support the lighting of the menorah lamplighters.
I find it amazing how many people showed up to publicly declare their association with Judaism last night. Many people came over, well over 100 people showed up, and that's a very strong statement. The very fact that it was in front of the county building tells us that the government is behind us and that they are providing security and whatever we need in order to make that happen.
The celebration will continue across Oklahoma throughout the week with the lighting of menorahs in Stillwater, Oklahoma City, and Norman. Another local celebration will be held at the Gathering Place from 4 to 6 p.m. on December 14th.
Now, let's go outside on the News Channel 8 weather deck, sponsored by Burnett Home Improvement.
It's really mild out here on the Burnett Home Improvement weather deck. Normally, we should be in the low 50s, but right now we have temperatures in the lower 70s, and that's important because we're going to see some storms developing to the south and east of Tulsa later on this evening with that cold front pushing in. Back behind it, temperatures falling into the 50s, 60s. Out ahead of it, temperatures are in the 70s, nearly 20 degrees above where we should be this time of the year. Tulsa, no storms here, but off to the south and east, there is that possibility of some storms between 7 p.m. and midnight tonight. That's where there's that best opportunity near the Arkansas state line for some of those storms extending down into our southeastern counties, and 1 or 2 of these could become strong, possibly severe later on this evening. Again, no storm chances here in Tulsa, but we will continue to keep a very close eye on radar as that cold front continues to move into that warm, moist, unstable air mass. Here in Tulsa, we're going to hold on to temperatures in the 60s for another hour and a half. half, and then we fall into the 50s, followed by the 40s back behind that cold front, and the winds are going to pick up as well from the north and west. That will set the stage for a cooler morning tomorrow. 30s and low 40s, wind making it feel a little bit cooler. Highs tomorrow afternoon, about 20 degrees cooler than what we saw this afternoon. Now, you want to make sure you stay tuned. I'll track those storm chances for you and have a look at that weekend forecast coming up.
Tulsa police say a Good Samaritan was killed early this morning while trying to help direct traffic after a crash. It started as a bad car accident in North Tulsa. Not long after the original call, it was updated to include that a man was hit by a car at the scene. Police say the Good Samaritan walked out into the road to help, but was struck by a different car unrelated to the original crash. He died at the hospital. In Muskogee, a task force seized several pounds of cocaine and made an arrest. Police say it started with a tip about a suspect, John Cruz. Police searched his work, the Muskogee Civic Center, and his home. Officers say they found more than 10 pounds of cocaine, along with 4 handguns. Cruz is now in jail, facing charges. The Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics is continuing its crackdown on illegal marijuana grows in the state. Yesterday, agents busted a grow, and authorities say they seized over 14,000 plants in the Ringling area. They say this grow was using a fraudulent straw owner. That's when someone is paid to be listed on the license as the owner of the business, so they'll pass the background check and meet Oklahoma's residency requirement, but they have no real involvement in the business. The Tulsa Police Department says that its strategy to crack down on auto thefts is working. The department says auto thefts are down 50% over the last 2 years. TPD says it's invested a lot of time and resources into cracking down on crime. In 2021, there were over 3,500 thefts. So far this year, there's only 1,700. The department says they've been targeting serial offenders. A holiday billboard is turning heads after displaying an image of Santa Claus holding a rifle. It's the type of thing that has some upset and others unbothered. But according to the store behind the billboard, it wasn't meant to be controversial. Here's Amaya Ward.
If you see a Santa holding a gun, that's just part of advertisement.
It misses the mark in so many different places.
What should be a carefree time in a child's life with a gun-toting image of someone they are told will be entering their home.
I'm here to tell you that's a horrible advertisement because guns are not for children and Santa Claus it's not for adults.
Joshua Harris Till is a volunteer with Moms Demand Action, a gun violence prevention program in Oklahoma City. He says he's worried by the message a gun-toting Santa might send.
Are we advertising to children here to say, hey, Santa likes guns, you kids should like guns?
While some think the billboard is in poor taste, others say they aren't bothered.
Me seeing that billboard up there, it's not a problem.
Sherelle Walker lives nearby and says she doesn't believe there were negative intentions.
It's Christmas, so they're trying to promote, advertise, and, sell them their guns.
And H&H agrees, insisting the ad isn't meant to be offensive, saying in a statement, "We chose an image of Santa with a firearm because that is what we sell." A decision leaving people in the community with mixed emotions.
Gun violence is on the rise, but it's the responsibility of the parents to make sure that the kids are not exposed to the toxic things.
This could have been an opportunity for them to take a break away from guns.
The store also says it knows that a lot of folks like to give guns as Christmas presents. A new rule will go into effect next July that will impact high school student athletes wishing to transfer schools. Starting July 1st, 2024, high school student athletes will be allowed one free transfer where they don't have to sit out a year. That rule was recently changed by the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association, which had previously required to sit out 1 year starting their first day at the new school. In addition, transferring student athletes will not have to move into their new school district. An abortion case playing out in Texas could have broad implications for the post-Roe world. Doctors say a woman's life and fertility is at risk, but the Texas AG says that still doesn't meet the standard. College presidents of some of the top universities in the nation are facing blistering criticism after being asked a question about the genocide of Jews during a congressional hearing. We've got that fallout next.
Plus, all is quiet right now, but there is that potential for 1 or 2 severe storms later on this evening to the south and east of Tulsa. I will track those storm chances for you coming up.
KOKH and her doctors know her fetus has a genetic abnormality that is almost always fatal before or soon after birth. The pregnancy also puts her life at risk, her doctor says, and threatens her future ability to have children. But in Texas, abortions are banned after 6 weeks, and KOKH is in her 2nd trimester. A judge granted her a medical exemption abortion in a virtual hearing on Thursday, saying that if KOKH's case doesn't merit a medical exemption, it would be an injustice. Yet the state of Texas says KOKH's case does not meet the standards for medical exceptions. Attorney General Ken Paxton said in a statement that hospitals and doctors that helped her get an abortion could face legal consequences.
What the Attorney General is saying is that he values this non-viable pregnancy of hers more than her own life and her future children.
Paxton sent a letter threatening future legal action to 3 hospitals in Houston where, according to the Texas Medical Board, KOKH's physician has privileges. Following their controversial response to anti-Semitism on their campuses, calls for the presidents of Harvard, MIT, and the University of Pennsylvania to resign are growing. It comes as donors pull back donations and Congress launches an investigation. Our national correspondent, Kayla Gaskins, reports.
After testifying on Capitol Hill Tuesday and then clarifying remarks the following evening, University of Pennsylvania's president Liz McGill faced growing calls to resign.
Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's rules or code of conduct? Yes or no?
If the speech turns into conduct, it can be harassment, yes.
McGill, along with Harvard's president Claudine Gay and MIT's Sally Kornbluth, have come under fire after appearing to evade answering questions about whether students calling for the genocide of Jews violates the school's codes of conduct.
I think their statements were abhorrent. Trying to contextualize what constitutes harassment, Jewish students are terrified on these campuses.
Now the House Committee on Education and the Workforce has announced an investigation into the universities, their policies, and disciplinary procedures. In a statement, Republican Chairwoman Virginia Foxx said, quote, committee members have deep concerns with their leadership and their failure to take steps to provide Jewish students the safe learning environment they are due under law.
If somebody says, I want all Jewish people dead, they should be removed from campus. If someone says, I want all Armenians dead or all black people, I mean, it's very obvious to me that creates an environment that's not safe enough to learn in.
The concerns are not the pro-Palestinian protests on campuses themselves, but the anti-Semitic language used by some protesters and concerning actions toward Jewish students. The House Committee on Education and the Workforce says their investigation isn't just limited to the 3 institutions and that other universities should expect investigations as well. I'm Kayla Gaskins reporting.
From the Oklahoma Ford Storm Center, your first warning forecast, certified as Tulsa's most accurate weather.
It has been a very warm afternoon out there, but we have a cold front now pushing into the area. This is going to bring in cooler temperatures. It's also going to trigger some isolated storms later on this evening into the overnight hours. So that cold front now working its way through the Tulsa metro. We're still sitting at 70 degrees. This is just 3 degrees off of the record high for today. But notice back behind the cold front, temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. Out ahead of it, 70s. We should be in the low 50s this time of the year, so that gives you an idea of just how mild the temperatures are. Winds have flipped to the west. This is important because we are now starting to see some of that drier air push in. This is shutting down the storm chances in Tulsa. That's not the case farther south and east. We're still going to see those storm chances start to ramp up over the next couple of hours. Dew points to the south of I-44 have climbed into the 50s. Ideally, we would see temperatures, those dew point temperatures in the 60s, but we will start to see those dew point temperatures increase from the mid to upper 50s into the 60s for our southeastern counties, because look down in McCurtain County, 62 degrees. Southerly winds will start to carry some of that moisture into our southeastern counties, and that's going to set the stage for some of those storms. Storm energy is starting to increase. Notice the blue and those light green colors. Watch what happens as we move into latter parts of the evening. This is around 7 p.m. Notice the deeper, darker green colors and the yellow colors. That indicates that storm energy starting to increase. So whatever storm develops will have a better opportunity to become strong, possibly severe. Nothing showing up on radar right now. This changes, though, later on this evening. 7 p.m. to midnight's that best opportunity for our eastern counties to see some of those isolated storms. The closer you are to the Arkansas state line, that's where there's that better opportunity to see some of those storms. So I went ahead and I overlaid that storm energy onto future radar. This gives you an idea of where the storms develop, where there's that energy for these storms to possibly become severe. Through 6 p.m., nothing going on. Maybe southeastern Kansas has an isolated shower. As that cold front starts to push into this storm energy, there's a lot of lift as well. We start to see the indication of some showers, maybe isolated storms trying to develop for our far southeastern counties. Working our way toward 8, 9. Notice the storms start to intensify near the Arkansas state line. That's depicted by those orange, red, purple colors, and notice the cells look to be discrete, so that will increase that potential of these storms becoming severe. Pocket change size hail, gusty winds are a possibility, and there is a low-end tornado risk for our far southeastern counties. There's just a lot of shear with this that could allow for one of those storms to start to rotate, possibly producing a tornado. Low wind threat, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it. That threat is again to the south and east of Tulsa. This is a level 1 out of 5 or a marginal severe risk for this dark green shaded area. Again, this is our southeastern counties. Favored time is between 7 p.m. and midnight. After midnight, the storms start to push off toward the Arklatex and our storm chances go down for the News Channel 8 viewing area. Here in Tulsa, dry. Temperatures fall from the 60s into the 50s and then the 40s by tomorrow morning. The wind is going to increase too, so you're going to want that jacket. It's going to be cool out there by tomorrow morning. Those lows, upper 30s, lower 40s. It's still milder than where we should be this time of the year, but it's going to feel a lot colder, especially tomorrow afternoon, since it's been so warm today and yesterday with those temperatures getting into the 70s back to back. Low 50s with wind chills in the 40s going to make it feel pretty chilly. So if you are heading out to the parade, it's going to be cool, mainly dry. Is a sprinkle possible? Yes, it is, but don't bring the umbrella. You definitely want the jacket though, and those temperatures stay cool not only for your Saturday, but for your Sunday as well. But don't worry, it's just about a 48-hour period of cool temperatures, and then we get into the 50s by the middle of next week. Stay tuned, more News Channel 8 coming up.
Nationwide, police are taking action against organized criminal gangs that are breaking into homes. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
This morning, police are taking new action after a string of home break-ins nationwide blamed on gangs.
It's just leaves you a little unsettled.
In Detroit, dozens of homes have been targeted. The county sheriff now forming a task force to address the problem of transnational gangs from Latin America breaking into houses, often through second-floor windows.
The reason it's so important is because this group is so highly functional, they're well-trained, and they're targeting our region and other places across the country.
The thieves, working in groups of 4 to 6, use signal jammers like this one to disable wireless home security systems that depend on Wi-Fi.
They're looking for high-end value, again, cash, jewelry, watches, high-end purses, and any safes that they can carry with them. And that even includes larger safes if they can carry it and get it out.
4 people are in custody for the Detroit break-ins, and similar gangs have been busted in other parts of the country, moving quickly between neighborhoods. To protect your home, police say use redundant security systems not solely dependent on Wi-Fi, and consider calling police if your Wi-Fi goes down without explanation. In addition to high-end homes, the gangs are targeting jewelry stores and cars.
McDonald's first new spin-off restaurant called Cosmic is now officially open, and it's located just outside of Chicago. The fast food chain announced Cosmic's menu items just this week, but don't expect to find hamburgers or fries. There's lattes, energy drinks, slushies, and lemonade. Also, treats like donuts, cookies, and pretzel bites. Here's what the first ever customer had to say.
And I found a random page online and looked over the menu ahead of time. I'm on my way to work, so it worked out.
McDonald's has not yet revealed the locations for the other Cosmics, but revealed that the pilot program is planned for 10 cities across the U.S. That guy just kind of lucked into that, I think.
Yeah,
he didn't know
did.
where he was.
Would you try it?
I mean, I'll try anything.
Yeah.
Why not? You?
I'm gonna stick to my local coffee shops.
I do like supporting local more.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a few really great coffee shops here in Tulsa.
You know, tomorrow will be a good day to go to the local coffee shop, get the hot coffee, get the hot cocoa. It's gonna be cold. Come join us at the parade tomorrow. We stay dry, but it will be chilly, so bundle up.
So are you buying tomorrow morning?
I got you.
All right.